Yogi Sujo Center here, coming to you with more Katawa Shoujo. I know, I'm sorry, it's been a week, I think. Yeah, it's been like over a week now, or about a week since I uploaded the last video. I'm sorry about that. It's just been like, I've been working on something, I've been working on a project, with some friends, and, yeah, it took a bit, and then we got it rolling, and we all set, so we finished. It's not like a school project or anything, we were just working on something for ourselves. So yeah, let's just get right back into it, as if nothing happened. Shizune and Misha pulled me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had lunch boxes. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. Oh, the student council bullshit? So Hee-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Oh. Right. Yeah, you know, I was wrong. I'm willing to accept that. Right, Shi-chan, okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha strains her posture as if she is about to deliver a speech. Hee-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. Yeah, you know what? That was me back in middle school. I went through like a little soccer phase. I played soccer in middle school, but it wasn't like it wasn't serious. It was just school. It was like a school club. I just played it for fun, but I did get really upset. I'm a naturally competitive person, so it's really hard trying to do something for fun, but you can do it. Like if it's a game like this where there's no competitiveness to it, then you can't really get mad. And if you do, it's fucking whack. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Shi-chan? Right, but it seems like they have all the members they could possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan, it's a really popular club. Is there a max limit to how many members you could have in a club? I remember at my high school, there wasn't really a max number you could have to people in a club. Like at one point, my gaming club, my freshman year, it had like on a regular basis for the beginning of my freshman year. At the beginning of the year, on a regular basis, it had like, I just swear, not even joking, at least like 25 people. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but to me it was, because it was my first, it was the first club I had been in that wasn't soccer club. Because soccer club, it had a few people too, but that's different. That's a sport. That's a sport club. It's like, in my opinion, it should have a lot of members. Because you need at least like, let's see, it's like 3 for forward, 2 for defense, 1 for goalie. So that's 6 players on the field, but then you need extras to swap out with them. So it's like at least like 12 players on a team. And then even more than that to have more extras, you know, just in case someone gets injured or something. So it's like, yeah, but I feel like for a basic soccer club, we still followed the general like 3 forward, 2 defense, 1 goalie sort of thing. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry I went off on a talk about soccer that no one cares. I'm sorry. Okay, but more to the point. Hee-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great, that's great, Hee-chan, really great. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hee-chan, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council. Now, I took a wild guess that that's where we left off. Because I thought we already talked about the clubs. God. I see. I didn't know this school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has the voice to whatever she says. Right, right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we could hang out every day. Hee-chan, Shi-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shi-chan is the president. Alright, I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about with this. Yeah, I mean, like, people that typically talk about student council work and, like, trying to get people to join, they always say, like, oh, it's not hard, you know, we need more people, you know, like, we just, like, you know, it's like, it's never, you know, it's never too much or something, you know, you should join, you know, we could use the help. It's like, get out of here with that shit, out of here, get him out of here. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Hahaha, of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore having an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that? No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hee-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it, but even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan? I can't tell if she is being genuine or this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are already pretty cute to begin with. I mean, you're cute, you're just deaf. You're kinda cute, but I don't know what's wrong with you. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan. What? No. Aw, see, Shi-chan, of course it wouldn't go so easily. She's trying to be all fucking smug about it. Like, oh, we'll get him. Yeah, we'll get him. We'll get him, yeah. My deaf ass will definitely get him. Yep, that's right. Though it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Wow, that's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Oh, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Smug bitch. Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal, but what that means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline. Smart. Hee-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry. It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! Stop it! Get some help! Stop it! Get some help! Good lord. How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past goalposts and that the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people. God, I remember doing that. That was actually that started for me in middle school. Like, elementary schoolers never did it. We just did the classic, like, it was those foldy things where you chose, like, a path, like, 1, 2, like, you pick a number, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, oh, okay, pick a color, and then you do, like, B-L-U-E if you chose blue or something. It was, like, it was really weird. They were fun, too, because some people would make their own, and that made it really interesting. God, I miss those days. But paper football was always a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I was decent at it, not gonna lie. I was decent. Amongst my friends, anyways, I was decent. But it was fun. It was fun. I should learn how to make one and then try and, like, bring it around with me or something. That'd be kind of weird, though. Just, hey guys, you wanna play some paper football? What? 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 Okay, back to the story. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah. Haha, yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hee-chan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me in the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. Whatever any other student council does? I don't fucking know. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Nah. Like I said, I've done my research. I know all the interests. I'm not picking either of these girls. Nah, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing that. Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. I fucking love Risk. Oh my god, that game is fucking amazing. God, I love Risk. But it could go on for hours. I swear it's on like Monopoly level, if not even worse than Monopoly. Like, holy shit, that game could go on for fucking... People make jokes about like how Monopoly could go on for weeks. No, Risk could literally go on for weeks because of the rolls. If you don't, it's like if you just keep randomly rolling, you're just gonna get random rolls, you know? It's just how it be. And then like you could win, you could lose. It's like, I don't know how to feel. My head not being centered. Okay. I love Risk. It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Oh, really, Shichan? We can play just for fun. Hee-chan. Shichan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Wow, that's a good bait. Good bait. Well, okay. Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room, then, Hee-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Wow, you got baited. I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. Alright. Oh. During after-school classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. That's fair. Don't get into people's business too much. Oh yeah, I shaved the beard, guys. Shaved the beard and the mustache. I'm a clean baby face. Hell yeah. I don't know. I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. I don't hate it or like it. It's a neutral thing. Babyface looks fine. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch on to me. Oh god. God, I need to get used to this whole talking thing. This whole, not talking thing, but I need to get used to this whole, what should I call it? Commentating thing, because, if I'm not, then, you know. Then I'm constantly having to drink water, and I don't want to be doing that. But I feel like once I get used to it, my voice will get used to it, and then I won't have to do that as much. After school, oh yeah, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I'd been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disrupted. That enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell. Wow, what's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right, we're just going to play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha, this all seems like a little sinister to me. I started thinking that when we sat down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just feels like it would be so plausible. Well, I can see it. Misha seems like the kind of girl to do that. She seems crazy enough. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, He-chan. She-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha assigns something amusingly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha finds deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that, I know you heard me, you have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked on one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filling cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Before I managed to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. He-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Ha ha ha, okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game. Halfway? What is halfway? How do you know if you're halfway? How do you know? Anyone can make a comeback in Risk. That's the beauty of Risk. You can make a comeback and totally just destroy everyone. World domination. I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts. She breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. She-chan wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move. She-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. Thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. She-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. Jesus! Ha 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 ha. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more, magnanimous. Magnanimous? I don't know. She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Ah, wait, please slow down, She-chan. She-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Yes, rebel! Rebel! Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. She says you have no choice if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. You know what? The thing about risk is that you have to take risks. And another thing about risk is that, like, you can't really make a trap. Like, it's so obvious. The reason I say you can't make a trap is because, like, it's so obvious that you could be being put into a trap. Because if you're surrounded or something like that, it's obvious that even if you take one area, you're just going to get bombarded by, like, more areas. It's just, that's just how a risk is. Okay, what do we want to pick here? Let's see. You know what? We'll just play defensively. It's likely that she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense setup, and I'm not going to check, or I'm not going to wreck it to it something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyways. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. Wow, He-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Shi-chan, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5-army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, He-chan, your play needs to be more daring. Ambition. Shit, I get it. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good. You didn't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, He-chan. Damn. Or, damn, what's it to her? I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you'd even be any good for the student council. What's this, reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up just like that? I expected more of you. Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet, and these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide. Really, He-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah, I'm just not sure that I want to. Aw. Okay, He-chan, but we're not going to give up so easily, and you said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Yeah, these girls don't know how to recruit people. This would immediately just say, like, no, I'm not joining at all. You guys are just pushy. You guys are way too persistent. Like, you guys are willing to do too much. Surely you are not that horrible at board games. Maybe we could play a game, you know, then, to give you a handicap. I might have said that just to make you feel better after all. Oh, that's cold, He-chan. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I was gonna say accent for some reason. I don't know why. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the 2nd floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No, thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. What the fuck is that? I made fun of the other one, I know. I said it looked like Sid the Sloth. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Look at that. What the fuck is that? One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The 2nd floor hallway is like a carbon copy of the 3rd floor one. Wide, of course, and play. God, I need to breathe more. Like only hallways that are. I did not read that whole sentence properly. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bid on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though, just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open. Invitingly open. God, I fucked that word up so hard. Invitingly open. And while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at the moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks, as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I had anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. It's the girl I was looking for. The girl I was looking for. Hell yeah. Good. I should take more breaks from reading every so often. This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes but doesn't look at me. Hello there, may I help you? I know I said I wouldn't do voices, but occasionally I am going to do a bit more like talk. I guess I will do voices occasionally at random. I guess it's just natural for me to feel like I need to do that. So it'll get done. Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me, she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distant. Or distinct? Did that say distinct? I don't know. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kinda lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her. The girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements while with her head is telling that, and this slight cloudiness in her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Ah, yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns doesn't match with the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting, one which I hastened to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato, pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand opened, lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see her around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Yeah, it's pretty impressive how blind and deaf people can adapt so easily. And not just them too, like people who have a missing leg or missing arm or actually, I guess having a broken limb isn't a disability. No, it is a disability, Devin. You're fucking stupid. Sorry, excuse my stupidity. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate with me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him, most do. Hey, we get to see the character again. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really good. Really good or great? She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. So sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the fox paws, looking at her face, though she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems, all too ready to jump ship from this particular topic. I see you into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. Yeah? I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave me enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, those such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. I like Lily. I like Lily a lot. Lily's best girl so far. She's so nice. I like her. I like how she's just so different than the other girls, I guess. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming onto the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh? The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she doesn't see the sun. Way to go, dick nozzle! It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. Ah, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think about it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. Hell yeah. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Hell yeah, Lily. Hell yeah. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I can introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Well, yeah, she's blind. Duh. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than wing. I don't know what that said. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old-world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here, considering the time. It isn't a big surprise. Everybody's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it in the thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Aww. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces out to extremely enraged attention. Hi, Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay, sorry for making you worry. This is nothing, I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a librarian perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 important books that arrived? Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but amidst her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure, she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right. Hisao, pleased to meet you too, Hisao. Jesus Christ. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import forward books in Braille for me. Ugh. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of subject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. You're a fucking librarian. This is what you're supposed to do. I remember my junior year, we were supposed to do a reading project, and the principal was in the library as we were grabbing books, and I was trying my damn hardest to fight back against the principal, telling her that I just don't like reading. I just didn't like it. Did not like it. Did not at all. Or was it my junior year? No, it was my sophomore year. Right. It was my sophomore year. That's right. I remember now. Yeah, sophomore year, I fought to not get a book, and I ended up walking out with a book because I was just like, okay, whatever, I'll just pick a book just so that she's happy, and then I never read it. It was Ready Player One. I've heard it's a good book. I heard it's a really good book, but I don't know. How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get, but her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But so there are a lot of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work, at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. A third? I feel like that's a fair amount, but I feel like there could be more, maybe. No, that's a fair amount. So I think majority of the students aren't blind and partially blind, so, and deaf, because they also said audio, so majority of the students I don't think are blind and deaf at the school, so it would make sense that not as many books are for them as other students. Makes sense given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. I don't know if I said either of those words right. God, I don't want to say them again. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. Wow. Damn, you had to go there. It's so troublesome. They waste so much. I wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. Yeah, no, this is the sad part, because the thing is, at my high school, my teachers went on a strike because they weren't getting paid enough, and they wanted to get paid more. And pretty much all the teachers agreed, or at least majority of the teachers agreed at my school, that they weren't getting paid enough. And teachers really, I don't think they really do. If they're complaining about it, I don't think they do. I feel like they should be paid more because they're preparing the newer generations to become what society defines as ideal citizens. However, as new generations come out, the ideal member of society changes with each new generation. Like today's ideal society member, in my opinion, is someone that like knows their way around technology, like knows their way around like computer programs and stuff like that, and knows their way around like working a phone, having a phone. Having a phone, I feel like, is essential for this day and age because we're in a world of technology, and technology is only getting better and better. Do I think the world's getting better and better because of that? No. Maybe. Yes. Yes and no. I don't know. I'll just say yes for simplicity's sake. Just because since technology gets better, it makes our lives easier. But at the same time, it's also causing depression with social media and all that junk. You just gotta learn to get past it, really. You just gotta learn to get past it. Eventually, you don't even start being depressed because you're using social media. You just start being depressed because you don't like yourself. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. Okay. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lily and snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reached the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd students sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. Maybe she went here to read. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I am shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her. I'll just introduce myself. Hi, I'm new here. He's Sao Nakai. We're in the same class. I just transferred here the other day. Maybe you don't remember? The girl doesn't say a word, but simply stares at me wide-eyed. I'm still getting used to the place, so I'm trying to meet as many people as I can. So, what's your name? Hanako. Her speech is stuttering and so quiet that it is barely audible, even in the still library. Somehow, I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, eh? So what are you reading? She gently tips the book backwards so that I can read the title, at the same time hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of Pi? I've never heard of it before. What's it about? A boy and a tiger on a boat. I can see this taking some time. Sounds interesting. Is it any good? She nods from behind the book, but stays silent. She looks kind of tense, a bit like Yuko earlier, but in a completely different way. More like petrified with terror, I'd say. Oh god, she's shaking. So the mystery delinquent girl turned out to be anything but, and she is quivering in a way that makes it look like she is mortally afraid of me. The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try to get a normal conversation going. Is it a library book? I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's just so many. No, it's mine. Oh, so do you come here often? A huge blush spreads on Hanako's face, and her eyes widen far larger than I thought it was possible for her eyes to do. Uh-oh, did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up? I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I've got to go do something. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair, like takeoff, catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I'd better try and find her. Sure, I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing. I just talked to her, tried to get to know her. Didn't even manage to get started. Yuko signs and looks awfully bothered, even more than she did before. I guess you weren't wrong so much as tactless. Tactless? That girl is a bit of a special case. It's like she never really it's like she never really talks to anyone. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. Perhaps I was being a little tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile and she blushes heavily. What? Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us have anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. I'm tired. People who have papers on their desk really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too, honestly, at least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I trawl my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get in the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the little light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. I love the music for Kenji. The music in this game is great, but I think Kenji has like the best music. I like it. Alright, I just wanted to appreciate it for a moment. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday? I don't think so. I would remember someone who I met yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? Try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one of two things. Either we have met, and you are telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you are a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to maniac in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. What? I'll go in a couple minutes, if that's okay. Is it okay if we leave in a few minutes? Sorry guys, my dad's talking to me. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Okay. Well, I'm gonna I'm just gonna, since I'm gonna be leaving, sorry for the interruption from my dad. I was yelling at him. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Thank you guys. I guess I'll just end the video here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. And if you want to, if you want to help my channel grow, then hit that subscribe button as well. We're right down there. And if you want to be notified when I actually upload videos like this, hit that bell icon as well. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.